Because our corporate competitors over at YouTube do not want us making this kind of content, it's very important that you like and share this video if you like what you've seen so far. And if you want to join the world's most influential Zaibatsu, hit the subscribe button and become an employee of the Interlink Corporation today. The Fletcher Mk is a customized AEG and part of a series called the Interlink Armory. It's a collaborative effort between myself and my channel sponsor, Norwest Airsoft. Our goal is to create fun and functional airsoft guns set in the near future military cyberpunk universe you know and love. Here in beautiful new Tanegashima City. That's right, my lore is now bleeding over into your life. Like it or not, it's happening. From myself and my cybernetic ilk here at Interlink to the ruffians that live beyond the megacity walls, we're bringing you different types of cyberpunk-inspired airsoft guns for you to check out and maybe even take home yourself. Mike over at Norwest and myself spent a lot of time talking about what we wanted this build to look like. We both agreed we wanted something lightweight and easy to move around with, but something that was still usable on an indoor or an outdoor field. Most importantly, we wanted something that was fun to use. Lore-wise, I was inspired by the description of a weapon from the cyberpunk novel Neuromancer by William Gibson. The Fletcher in that book is used by a main character, and it fires a variety of darts based on what that character needs during her missions. As a corporate mercenary, the utility of such a weapon is quite obvious. We finally decided we wanted to go with something that was kind of like a submachine gun with rifle features, and we settled on the CYMA 106B. This is part of the Platinum lineup, so the external quality is pretty good. The 106B body is based on a 9mm AR-15 style carbine, and it's compatible with MP5 magazines. I definitely prefer these straight type magazines. These come with the gun, but when we order these guns, they also come with these curved plastic mid caps. These are included with the Fletcher, although I definitely don't recommend them. I would highly encourage you to pick up more of these stick type magazines if you do end up picking one of these bad boys up. The 106B body was a great choice. It's got all of the ergonomic and tactical features that an Interlink mercenary might need. A full metal body, including both upper and lower receiver, gives us a nice, realistic weight and look. A low profile M-LOK handguard gives you plenty of options for customization and continues your top rail all the way to the end. There's QD mounts on either side of the handguard, which synergize well with the sling points on the back plate and the QD mounts on the cut down crane stock. I really like this crane stock because even at its full length, it's very comfortable to use with a bulky plate carrier like I have on right now. Your bolt catch is spring-loaded and locks to the back to reveal your standard version 2 hop-up and is released by your spring-loaded bolt catch on the other side. The Fletcher has ambidextrous fire controls, safe, the 45-degree angle is semi, and all the way up is full auto. Although we do have some aftermarket features that we've baked into this that we're gonna go over a little bit later. All of this comes together in a compact package that will be super easy to pick up if you've ever used an M4. You've got a short barrel, but enough real estate up here to run this thing like a rifle. Even your sling mounting options kind of signal that. You can run it with a standard 2-point sling, or if you really want to, run it comfortably with a 1-point sling hanging off of your back plate there. These stock polymer flip-ups click into place nicely. They've got a great profile and are, of course, fully adjustable. Externally, we added a T1 aimpoint replica. This is the same one that I use on my F2000. And we include this angular and aggressive forward grip. And this is really the grip angle that I prefer. You can see that I have a really similar foregrip on my F2000. On the fore end, we wanted it to look like you had an integrated suppressor. I was also inspired by Shiro Masamune's artwork of his near future guns in the Ghost in the Shell manga. And a lot of his designs have these really exaggerated suppressors, so I wanted to have that as part of the external design. The suppressor's not quite as big and ridiculous as I wanted it, but it does start inside of the handguard and gives kind of the impression of it being an integrated suppressor. One of the downsides of the 106B, as you'll run into with any back-wired carbine-style M4, is that you've got really limited battery space. We have found that a lot of 11.1 LiPos, including the Titan nunchuck that I usually use, will fit in the back of this if you have the stock fully extended. That is kind of a caveat for using a gun that is this small. Externals aren't everything, and any Interlink mercenary worth his salt is going to be asking, what's on the inside? I'm happy you asked.
Sounds like freaking firecrackers, dude.
A custom job. It fires a bespoke 9mm flechette cartridge produced by one of Interlink's many defense subsidiaries. A wide array of ammunition types are available, from explosive microloads to spear tips capable of defeating Class 4 subdermal implants used by heavy cyborgs. Lightweight and deadly, the Fletcher is a friend to the Interlink mercenary in need.
Right here in this brush. Reloading.
The inner barrel on the Fletcher has been swapped out for a Prometheus 6.03 tight bore barrel that's 318mm long and runs all the way to the end of the Mk suppressor. That was an intentional decision. You know, a lot of people might look at this gun and say, why don't you have it set up with a tracer unit or something like that? We wanted to squeeze every ounce of range out of this thing, and a longer tight bore barrel is going to give just a little more consistency and air cushion over those farther distances on an outdoor field. Your hop-up unit is still stock, but the bucking in there has been swapped out for a Maple Leaf AST 70-degree bucking. I use the same one in Betsy over there, my 50 cal, and that's just to complement the tight bore barrel. The Fletcher has an ASG Infinity motor installed, along with a Perun V2 hybrid MOSFET. Those two upgrades work together to give this thing absolutely abusive, fully automatic fire.
Don't break into my car and steal my airsoft guns!
I use a Perun AB MOSFET in my F2000, so that's an aftermarket upgrade that I actually have a lot more field experience with than just a couple games. And that's a common thing that you're going to notice with a lot of these builds, is these are things that I have used for many years that we're integrating into every new AEG that we bring out.
This is evil.
Out of the box, however, the Fletcher utilizes one of the Perun's coolest features on semi-automatic fire, and that is a binary trigger, or what Interlink is now trademarking as cruel and unusual semi-auto.
He's dead.
If you've never seen a binary trigger before, the concept is very simple, and it's basically a cheat to get faster semi-automatic fire. On semi-auto, if you pull the trigger once, the gun will fire, and when you release it, it fires again. If you're really working the trigger, you get this awesome double tap fire that can be very effective at keeping enemy players' heads down, and also just increases your volume of fire on the field. Of course, not every field is going to allow you to utilize binary fire. This little Perun card will be included in the box, so if you do need to turn it off, you can just follow the instructions on here. It's really simple just to get it back on semi-auto. Before I put the Fletcher into employee hands, I needed to test it for myself and make sure that Mike and I we did everything that we'd set out to do. And I'm happy to say that the Fletcher met all of my expectations. Unfortunately, I don't get to hang on to these things. These are for you to pick up yourself. But the Fletcher would be one of those guns that's right up there with my F2000 as far as usability. I got ridiculously tight groups at my close range testing, and this was an absolute force to be reckoned with on the airsoft field. I was able to oversaturate the enemy with fire at close range for anybody who was aggressive and moving on me. They had to stop and think twice when I started pulling the trigger on this thing because it just shoots so wicked fast. Fully automatic fire absolutely drains mid-cap magazines, but it's extremely effective. When you hear those BBs slapping against wood or slapping against a tree that you are hiding behind, you don't want to move on this thing. It worked very well in the woods. Its compact shape, holds close to your body so you're able to move with it, and it just feels cool. That's one of the things that makes it fun. Another thing that I absolutely love about it is when you're in the mix, Those reloads are so satisfying to do, but the Fletcher's not gonna be for everyone. I definitely think this benefits a more aggressive player, someone who likes to move around a lot on the field. You guys who are really into high speed, you might wanna go with something faster. I've used a lot of heavy airsoft guns. Even the F2000 is probably heavier than it should be. The Fletcher was a great break from that. So if you're looking for something that's a bit more lightweight, but really is just a lot of fun to use and something that's reliable that you can pick up, I think the Fletcher is there for you. The Fletcher is sold at 3 different levels, a good, better, and best version. And so over here is a list of all of the upgrade parts that we put into each gun, along with the amount of money that I make per sale. Here's everything included in the good version of the Fletcher, everything included in the better version of the Fletcher, and of course, the whole list is in the best version of the Fletcher, which I've been showcasing today. The higher speed motor is only included in the top tier version of the Fletcher. So if you get the other two, it doesn't have the top tier motor. Here's a demonstration of the different motor speeds, the stock one and the aftermarket one. The stock CYMA motor is still pretty solid, it can keep up, and you can still utilize the features of the Perun MOSFET. It's just not gonna be quite as monstrously fast as the ASG. If you like the look of the Fletcher Mark I and you're considering picking one up for yourself, you can check out the link in the description and in the pinned comment down there to visit my custom page on Norwest Airsoft's website. The last thing to note is that every Fletcher has a 90-day warranty, which should cover you for a couple of months of using this thing. Obviously, we can't do 1 year like an airsoft gun manufacturer because these are just aftermarket, they're done in my shop, but there is a little bit of a warranty just in case these things do crap out on you. Because I don't say it enough, thank you. This is a project that I've been looking forward to for a really long time. I love cyberpunk stuff, I love airsoft stuff, and it's really cool to combine them together on this channel and share it with you. Thank you to all of the old and new members of the C-suite. We had a ton of people from Norwest come over and pledge money. That helps me pay for things like the really cool action short at the beginning of this video. I want to do more of those. So if you do want to join the C-suite, you can go and check out my Patreon at Callsign Reach. And that's it. I, and more importantly, the corporation appreciates you. Thank you for your support. I'm Reach. Stay corporate approved.